the drinking game that I found on Imager. I don't know if anybody else ever uses that.
I think it's Imager.
Imaga, thank you.
Are you guys talking about that magic
Hard
shit?
Part Podcast, episode 21. Sound mark.
Hey, it worked. Came through.
Came through. Welcome back, you guys, to the Hard Part Podcast, where the hardest part is realizing when you need to be cut off.
Yeah, you think? Well, that doesn't make any sense because this is my first drink. I just got here.
Yeah, but
What do you mean it's Maine and the drinking time stops at 1 o'clock and not 2 o'clock like the rest of the country?
like the rest of the country.
What's going on? Do you live in a New England state or an obscure state that has a strange arbitrary drinking law that most of the world is not familiar with and really bums you out, especially when you spend 15 minutes after 1 o'clock deciding which cheap beer you're going to get to wind in the night and then...
And then you can't because it's not open?
That guy just sat there and watched me do it, too, like the whole time. I'm just like, you could have let me know like 10 minutes ago that you weren't going to sell it. Like, I get it. It's the rules. I'm not trying to get you in trouble or anything.
Still, man, damn.
But you saw where I was at and what I was doing. Like, and you just like, hope he makes the right decision.
Yep. So, the reason why we bring that up is because this is episode 21.
We're already off task.
What do you mean?
I mean, we had a segue before we even like started talking about the rundown. I think that's pretty par for course, isn't it?
Yes, we always do.
That's fair.
We always don't talk
Tom in here to derail the track conversation at least
literally
a few times.
Every episode. And then I have to sit there and decide, do I just keep this in? And then I always do. But this week is episode 21. So the Hard Part Podcast has turned 21.
Cheers.
So we're drinking to that. So this episode, we're not gonna lie to you, we're drinking this episode.
I think I have a couple times already, but some of those late recordings, man, it just... If you go back and watch all of our previous episodes, you can probably find out which ones I was drunk in. So.
Probably the Ozzy Osbourne one.
Oddly enough, no, you know what? That might have been the first one where I was, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Channeling the Oz man with a few drinks.
Mm-hmm. But, so this week on the episode, we're going to be talking about drinking stuff. Yeah. But not like pushing it and, doing alcohol stuff, but alcohol-based themes.
First off, if you're on the wagon...
Thirst off.
Hang in there, okay? It's tough, but you can make it.
It is.
And if not, definitely, be sensitive to stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I know more than once I'm kind of a party-hardy guy, and I've been the guy that, like, runs in and like, hey, you want a beer? And then everyone's like, he's been sober for 2 years. And I'm like, I'm going to leave real quick and go put this in my...
Yep, but also, with, everything like that, with drinking, disclaimers, if you or a loved one need help with it, if you suffer from addiction or anything like that, make sure you reach out to the proper handles and everything.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and with the way that alcohol is integrated into our society, it's a really slippery one to get stuck in.
Yep. So just be smart about it, be safe and everything like that.
And we'll have more health tips on this for those of us older gentlemen at the end of the show. We
will, yes. Because this week we will be talking about... So, for updates, there isn't actually a ton this week. Not a lot has really happened in the Magic community that's like, oh shit, we need to talk about this.
I mean, when they just dump all the spoilers for everything, like, right away, and then we all have nothing to talk about for a little while, it's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
You get us used to this, like, constant, like, feed of information, and then they just cut us off, and they're like... Oh, I thought you guys were saying you had too much. Well, you've gotten us on the crack now, okay? Yep. We need more. We need more, wizards.
So, yeah, for updates, there's nothing. The only thing I can really think of is I didn't watch the full video because we were in the middle of shopping, but there was a video that apparently Wizards is planning some sort of emergency errata to Vivi.
Oh, well, with Sully the Monster, the one that you were just showing me when we were... yep, okay.
Yeah, apparently...
I've got to see the end of that, because that's interesting.
They don't know, from what the sounds of it, they don't know what it's going to be, but apparently Wizards has an idea of an errata to Vivi, which, you know what, could very easily do? Just make that thing cost 1.
I really appreciate the fact that I don't think that's going to do it, but I really appreciate the fact that
Every time I think Tom is wrong, I'm going to drink.
there you go. Sean's going to be plastered. Anyways.
You were wrong right there.
I was wrong right there. But anyways, I think that I've completely lost what I was thinking about that one, and we haven't even gotten really into the... Yeah, you got to keep going. I'm just gonna. You gotta finish it.
Off.
You gotta finish it until I can remember what we were talking about.
It's like Drunkio Kart, where you can't, when you're playing Mario Kart, you can't drink and drive.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, if you want to take you have to finish your drink before you finish a lap.
Yeah.
So you can either chug it at the beginning and drive,
Mm-hmm.
or you can drive, stop completely, drink, put it down, and then continue driving, because you can't drink and drive.
See, there are definitely some like cultural stipulations to drinking. I've gotten very versed on like the cultural, like wraparound when it comes to Japanese business drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, did you know that it's considered rude to or unlucky to like fill your own cup?
Yes. Yeah, the sake always has to be poured by somebody else.
Which is always really interesting for me because I don't mind pouring a drink for somebody. I'm usually like the one that's like, hey, you need another? I'm going to grab another one. I've drank 3. You want one? Because I feel less bad having 4 if you're going to have one with me.
Because this 1-to-3 ratio sucks.
So I don't mind filling a cup for somebody else, but like I also get really weird about other people pouring my cup. Like maybe I was like an emperor in a previous life and I was poisoned. I'm like, I will pour my own drink, thank you.
Speaking of passing one to somebody, can you throw me an olive?
Absolutely not.
Come on,
no,
we got this.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. Well,
All right,
I want you to know this is gayer than starting a podcast. So.
Oh.
All right.
That's worth it.
Well, yep.
That's fine. We tried. So, I do want an olive.
It's a constellation prize.
But yeah, so an emergency ban to Vivi would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
You should probably back away from the mic when you're chewing the olive, though. Oh, my God.
Welcome to our ASMR.
Oh, man. I'm going to
No,
be
I'm just
so
kidding.
annoyed eating. I'm going to be so
I
annoyed.
suggest you just bleep that whole thing out. Turn my mic all the way off. And then we can come back in and be like, I'm sorry, everyone, for accosting Sean in front of you.
Yep. If they were to do an errata, what do you think they would need to do to Vivi to make him not insufferable?
I think they would have to in some way make it so that there's another loop around. My problem with the mana thing, that's where I was trailing off. My problem with the mana thing is even if you add a cost to it, it's really easy to go infinite with that in the fact that it doesn't tap. So you can just keep paying it.
Yep.
And if you can make at least 1 plus mana, i.e. making him a little bit bigger each time, it doesn't fix anything. He still has the infinite, and Agatha's is still going to give everything the ability that he has. So.
Yeah.
There's that problem. I think Agatha's is the glaring problem in the mix, and I think that a large portion of the reason why it's so expensive is it's appealing to both standard and commander players.
70 on the low end.
And I think that its price will probably hold because it's a mythic. It's hard to pull. You're not guaranteed to get one of those necessarily. And on top of that, commander, like, it's just an amazing commander card. The fact that it's so profound in modern or in standard right now is kind of the problem. So I think that that's the obvious choice to make. Not to mention it's the potential of other cards potentially comboing off with Agatha's that's where the real issue is. I think Vivi in a vacuum, Vivi is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because it keeps turning into they banned the cards that were helping Vivi, and Agatha's wasn't even included in that list that people were using.
That's so wild.
So they got rid of those things and went, what about this that's just been like sitting here?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh yeah. Let's make 2 VVs or 4 VVs
I
or
think that
7.
the right move that they could have made at the time is if they had just, instead of doing all the other bans, if they had just done Monstrous Rage and Agatha's, I think that standard would be it would be looking a lot better right now.
Yeah, because there's not a ton. I'm just so curious. I'm just going to see emergency errata VV.
See what it actually is. Yeah, because I feel like they would have to add a tap or add like a clause that you can only activate this ability once each turn or something like that.
Yeah, they do. Let me.
Well, I think that they might have something like that included, but again, if you flicker him, which blue can totally do. Oh, it's Sully.
Official news that the card Vivi or Nidier will be getting an errata to make it less powerful.
Dave, do you have any details on this change?
Oh, yes. I have been told that the Wizards play team has looked at multiple ways to reduce the overall power of the card without banning it entirely, and they have decided upon the following. Going forward, the official Oracle text for Vivi will remove both the letter I's from his name. We, of course, all know that VI is 6 in Roman numerals, so removing the I will change the value from a 6 to just a V, which is 5. The play team is confident that doing this to both eyes...
So I'd like to outline that I love Sully. This guy cracks me up, like from one end to the other. If you guys haven't checked out Sully the Monster yet, you should totally do it.
Yep, Sullivan the Monster.
I
It's
would
fun.
really love to see like a full-blown like television show with that guy. I think he could definitely do like what is it? Mr. Rogers style. Also, in case anyone didn't know, I'm a big fan of like perusing who's on Cameo and what fun things you could potentially get some celebrities to say for a cheap, buck. Sully's on there for like $15. So like if you want to get like even if it's somebody who doesn't know Magic the Gathering, having a professional Muppet do a custom video for you, that's
pretty.
That's
freaking
worth
sick.
$15 all
Yep.
day. Like
Yeah, in the comments of this video, the first fucking thing is they just need to ban Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
yeah. Thank you. I mean,
Yep, because Vivi is broken by itself, and Agatha just fucking pushes it off the edge.
yeah, Vivi is dealable, and I've talked to people who feel like Vivi is very much like something that they can work with. But the moment that it's like, oh, well, when you kill him, I will make everything like him. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of an issue. Now it is.
Yeah, it's like, so if I remove him, all of your tokens.
Yeah,
are now
anything you
Vivi.
can put a +1/+1 counter on, which oh my gosh, that's difficult to do in red. Like
Right. Yeah, even a temporary +1/+1 counter immediately activates its trigger. So, other than that, no updates. So, what's on our agenda? For today,
for today's
for the
agenda,
21st birthday of
we're
the
gonna
hard part.
we're gonna try and hit all of them, but we're
'Cause-
bad at that in the first place.
We didn't realize it, and I didn't realize it until last night when it was like 3:45 in the morning when we're editing. And Tom goes, "Do you know that we miss a segment every single time?"
Not every time,
I was
but
like, wait.
oftentimes we.
I was like, really? And then I started looking back at like our recent episodes. I was like, we do miss a topic every time.
Yeah, so our goal this round is to hit all of them, but
Wait.
we'll see. We'll see. They're all fairly relevant. I think the most obscure one is I'd like to talk a little bit about, see if we can get some conversations going on what people do with their broken or damaged or whatnot cards, or if you do anything like with your bulk, like art-wise.
That's true because everyone has bulk.
Has a little bit of bulk or something that's damaged, like a really cool card that now is worthless because, it's got like Cat P on it or something like that. I don't know.
I would never play with a Cat P card ever again.
You would never? Oh,
No.
dude, I've definitely pulled out like an Eldrazi from, again, working at the boys' home. You see some weird stuff. But yeah, like kid drops an Eldrazi and I'm like, oh, that's heavily damaged. And I pull it out of the sleeve. And like the moment that you pull it out, you're like, oh, that's Cat P grit. I'm going to put that back in there. Go wash my hands. But yeah, so... we're going to talk a little bit about the underground of Magic and what's going on with it.
The
Is there
underground of Magic.
maybe something more to the overall, the scalpers, the proxiers, the all the things that happens kind of behind closed doors and hushed,
Yes,
hallways.
We got to be very careful talking about this one because the underground magic might come after us.
The underground, is that a brand?
No, I just said it.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the mysterious underground figures of Magic the Gathering.
The Soul Ring.
The Soul Ring. Nice callback.
Thanks.
And then
I mean, it's a good callback from when we edited the episode literally 12 hours ago.
yeah. No, everything starts to run together after a while. But then beyond that, I wanted to look at a custom game that you can do, a custom drinking game that you can do with Commander, with printable cards and so forth. And then the last thing I was going to talk about is how a lot of us content creators within Magic, or there is a large population of content creators within Magic that are, pushing that senior envelope. I think I'm one of the younger ones, but that topic specifically came up with the professor the other day.
Tom
about
is
how he's
younger
one of the
than
older.
Tom's younger than he looks, but he's also older than he seems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, people talk to me on the phone and they're like, oh, that guy sounds like he's 12, 15 maybe.
me, dude, everybody thinks I'm either a woman or 12.
Oh, that's funny.
Or both.
Are you a 12-year-old woman? Little Women. That's a book.
That is a book.
It's a long book, too.
Very
Luckily,
long book.
that was one that I just kind of picked up and thumbed through. I didn't really commit to it, but not as dry as The Secret Garden, but, it, kind of that Jane Eyre style. Ugh. Ooh. Man, that could be some interesting grounded touch with some Secret Lair stuff and whatnot.
Dude, they can do anything with Secret
Pride
Lair.
and Prejudice and zombies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's right there.
It is zombies. As always, we want to give a special thank you to Manapool, our partner, for the podcast and for our card store.
The cards, the Hard Pod
The
Card
Hard
Mart.
Pot Card Mart. God, I hate that so much.
How did we fall into that and didn't even know? It
I
looks like
know.
we, had planned that from the beginning.
People are like, aha, you're from Maine. That's funny.
And you used all the things that you would say in a funny way.
I did.
Nope.
But so, as a reminder with Manapool, if you want low-cost Magic cards and you don't want the headache of trying to figure out where the lowest-cost Magic cards are, Manapool has an option that allows you to optimize your cart.
Yep. And Manapool is always expanding, always working on new stuff. I know that we were just talking about Magus last week. Magus is back in the drawing board, it seems. But I think it's great because I started messing with it and I had the same thought. I was like, I don't know that this is necessarily on the optimization level that they're looking for. And before I even had a chance to, actually do up a long form, hey, these are my suggestions and this is what I think might help out. Come to find out, they're already working on it.
Yeah, Andrew was already I didn't like how it was functionally working. The pain points are there, and that's the best thing you can have a company do is realize their pain points and go, I'm going to back up.
That's passion for a product. I mean, I like to get a little, nitpicky on this is done incorrectly, or I think that this would be optimized better this way. And normally I'll just kind of do it up for myself and it'll never go anywhere. But we're involved with Manapool, so I think that it's good feedback that I could get going for him. And yeah, again, to jump in there and find out that he's already addressing it and it's already being optimized. That's so cool. I'm really looking forward to Magus and seeing what it can do in
100%.
later renditions and so forth. So
Yeah,
very excited.
The idea for Magus is that you can input your entire deck list and be like, can you make suggestions for this that would fit in? Are you able to potentially find lower cost options for this card that Mumo, maybe I don't want to shell out $90 for an Agatha. Is there something similar in a lower cost that I could potentially use in the deck? And it takes into account commander colors and everything like that, so it's not just going to throw random things at you.
Right, yeah. It's not going to be like you go over to ChatGPT and you're like, hey, can you make me a deck? And it gives you, you got to export that deck over, and there's 137 cards, and 3 of the cards aren't legal, and 4 of them aren't in your commander's colors. And
one of them is a random photo they pulled off the internet.
Yeah. This is, this is going to be, I believe it's a language model. I'm not as up and up on the technology of AI as far as the language goes, but I believe it's a language model that is basically just going to be specifically geared towards Magic the Gathering.
Yes, which will be super nice. And eventually, I know they want to add more card types to the website and everything, but as of right now, Manapool is exclusively Magic. So if you're looking for low-cost, budget-friendly Magic cards and you don't want to go try to scrounge through other competitor websites, go to manapool.com, use our affiliate link to be able to, give us a little kickback for your deck lists or anything like that. Or, heck, even look through our own personal shop, the Hard Part Card Mart.
Yeah, we got some things. We try and keep the cost low. We got rid of the Starfield vocalist, and
We did.
every time that we get ready to make a video on the next thing sells. So like
You were like, oh, we want to make a video on this, and then it doesn't stay on the store for more than
Yeah,
24 hours. And that's because we are consistently sitting at the lowest.
yeah, sitting at the lowest, update often. I know Sean definitely gets to me. That's the most that I get from the Discord right now is Sean being like, oh, well, I can't update the cards now. I haven't been able to do it for like 4 hours. I'm like, Sean, it's 3 o'clok in the morning. Like, wait
It
till
matters.
tomorrow.
It matters.
It does. You know,
We get a lot of late night sales.
there's a lot of passion on this end for making sure, you know, that people get the cards they're looking for.
Exactly. That's always been our motto and always will be, is we just want to get cards to the people, and if we lose some bucks on a card, oh well. At
It's
least
your
you have it.
gain. It's
You're
your
gonna
cardboard gain.
It's cards that if I'm not going to use it in a deck, it's just going to sit there in a binder, so I might as well just like
Yeah.
somebody can use it.
Yeah.
So
Put that in the deck. Play that.
Yep. And when we ship the cards to you guys, we use ShippingShield.
Yeah.
So we get nice conformed packaging, nice hard shell, so you don't have to worry about your stuff being ruined on, transport and like scuffed or anything like that. And
Honestly, I really like the prospect of like using ShippingShield cards or packages on like a personal level. That was one of the first reviews that I did on a thing that I got from Manapool. One of my first purchases from Manapool came in a ShippingShield. And I just remember I got that, pulled it out of the package, and I was like, I'll use top loaders. That's not a big deal. I know I'll always use top loaders. But this is kind of unique. This is cool. Like, I might use this for Magic, or I could use this to just, like, send my wife a cute little note or something. Like, I don't know if you ever do that, but you should definitely, not my wife, don't send her cute notes. It'll come off wrong. She'll make fun of you. It's to your detriment. But, to your loved one, cute little Ron Swanson, hey, heart, love you, but do those, and that's a perfect little envelope for it. You can just...
They're really good. I like them a lot. And sometimes if you're like our USPSs up here, you can't send top loaders.
Yeah, USPS has a real problem when it comes to top loaders. At least the infrastructure that came around about I would assume the mid-90s is probably the last time that was updated.
Yep, so ShippingShield goes through all of them. We've had no problem sending things out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys need shipping solutions for your cards, ShippingShield.com as well.
Yep.
Go through there. We'll have our affiliate link relatively soon as well that you guys can use, which once again, if you order through that, helps us, and thank you guys. Appreciate it.
It's a cool deal.
Yep, thank you to Andrew from Manapool, and thank you to Greg from ShippingShield.
Thanks, guys.
So
on to the show now. What do we...
Yeah, so first segment, what's our keyword? Keyword corner.
So we were skipping that. I suppose there's kind of a creature type corner in the fact that we're doing spirits. I don't know how that had missed me.
That's really
that was
funny.
the tie-in.
Ah.
And why I decided to go with spirits versus...
You know what? That's true. So, creature type corner this time.
Spirits are an interesting one because there are a lot of spirits in blue and white.
Tons.
But when it comes to like the other colors, there's not a lot. So doing a 5-color deck with it was kind of interesting.
There's I know there is a commander from Lord of the Rings that's white black, and he's a spirit.
Oh yes, I recall that one. You were thinking about building that one, weren't you?
I was, because it is a little bit unique. You still get the really good white spirits, but you lose all of the really broken
blue support
spirits.
is so amazing for spirits. I
Spirits-
think that's where most of their
Spell Queller, first of all. That
Yeah.
was when that was in standard, that thing was unreal. I hated playing against Spell Queller decks. Because then you'd also have like Reflector Mage decks in that same like era. So it was just a lot of like, we play blue and we hate you having fun. Yeah.
Blue is definitely a big wet towel. That is they wear that badge properly. I don't think I've ever seen a blue player get like shunned out of casting a counterspell. They might get upset, but is this a tangent again? I think he's just like rolling with, I needed a drink for this conversation.
All of them.
So anyways, the episode 21 Planar Pub Crawl is the name of the deck. It's going to be very spirit-centric because, again, you got to keep your spirits up.
And you're drinking. And what's another name for drinking? Spirits.
Spirits. Also... Again, we had to go the 5-color route, and the one that kept popping up for drinking decks or drinking games and so forth was Corona. And Although Corona is an ironic alcoholic beverage
Super
name.
ironic. It's also a disease.
Yeah, it's also a disease, and I feel like we just did Corona in the 2020 deck not too terribly long ago, so I didn't want to run her again.
That was like 8 episodes ago now.
And then I found, right? It just...
It's crazy.
I know. Every once in a while I go combing through for like a clip for something. I'm like, oh, I know we did this in an episode, and then I'll end up watching like 4 full episodes. I'm like, when did we say that? and then like 2 days later, I'll be listening to one just for fun, because I also do that to myself. And then I'm like, oh, there was that clip I was looking for.
You're like,
I was in the
damn.
way wrong place.
Like, wow, that was like 8 episodes
Yeah.
ago, not 4 episodes ago. Yeah, that happened last night. We were trying to find a specific thing. I'm like, I know we said this. And it was like episode 8. And I was like, we're on episode 21 now.
Yep, it's a snowball. It's a snowball, and it is it's picking up speed at this point too.
And we're definitely on longer than most shows now.
Yeah. I was gonna say we've gotten a full season. Like, if we start season 2, like, metaphorically, we beat Firefly. So
Don't you dare trash on Firefly.
I'm not trashing on Firefly. Firefly was amazing, and everybody who's seen Firefly knows that.
Nathan Fillion's like one of my favorite actors of all time.
I also feel like Firefly is one of those beautiful shows that, like imagine if Buffy got cut at season 1. Buffy would have been really good.
Yep.
Right? That season 1 was probably not the best season, but it was really good for what it was. By the time that you got to like the last couple of seasons of Buffy, especially once Angel got involved, it was just like, I feel like we're just like adding it. This is just a big old drama fest of blah, 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 and sexual tension. And yeah, it just, if it had gotten killed off early, it would have been fine. But they let it live for too long. Round 2?
Yep.
Round 2.
Because your tangents are rough.
Oh, dude. Like I said, if you're going to drink every time I go on a tangent, you're going to be drunk by the mid portion of the show. Are you shaking that?
You're supposed to.
You don't like pulpy cider?
No, because I hit the bottom of that. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, because their branding's really good because it's upside down on the can, and it literally says, we know it's upside down. It's why? Because the best way to drink an unfiltered cider is to shake it up first, and by turning the can over to read this, you're halfway there. Give it a shake, wait 10 seconds, and enjoy. Unfiltered, the way it should be. Just like this podcast.
Anyhow, getting back to the filter, to the content, to the mush.
Yeah, Corona was a little too nail on the head. We wanted to think of something that wasn't just every other person having an altered Corona false god as a Corona can bottle.
And there was one, I usually try and stay away from like the uber powerful, like I'm a commander that's just going to take over the board. Looking at you, Augustus. But every once in a while,
looking at you, any Eminence commander.
I like taking a normally very powerful commander and then just putting him in a gimmick deck.
Yeah.
And so forth. So this time we're going to go with the prismatic bridge, okay? Because you never know who's walking through the door at the tavern, all right? So
That's
basically,
from Cheers, by the way.
Yeah, I did up a fun little art altar where we put the Cheers door for the art.
Cheers.
Which
fun fact is also New England.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
Cheers is
I thought you were gonna
Cheers
say
is Boston.
I thought you were gonna say Paramount. I was like, we don't have that deal yet.
No,
We're-
no. Cheers is Boston.
And I'll tell you what, though, when we do, I definitely plan on, no matter how much it costs us, we're going to do exactly what the South Park guys did, Trey and Matt.
And cross-dress at the Emmys?
I mean, if we need to. Just make sure we don't wear the same dress.
I'm not changing if that happens.
But anyways, spirits are the name of the game in this deck. We've got some other cards like bottle gnomes and so forth, but really the spirits are where it's at. Mm-hmm. And as I'm going through, I had a hypothesis that most of the spirit lords, most of the ones that give everybody +1/+1 for being spirits,
Yep.
I believe they are all blue on some end. I do have a couple of other things like the Inaz, the Gale Force, who's a djinn. But he falls in the colors and he gives stuff with flying +1/+1.
Which spirits all have.
Right. And then on top of that, he does this really crazy drinking theme thing. I almost pulled him out and then I saw his last ability. And it goes, whenever 3 or more creatures you control with flying attack. Again, spirits, you're going to have plenty. They're all going to have flying. Super easy to activate. Each player gains control of a non-land permanent of your choice controlled by the player to their right. So talk about some real drunken vision.
Take
like
one
everybody's
down, pass it around.
Take one down, pass it around. I like that. I didn't even make that connection, but that's perfect.
99 cards of spirits on the wall.
And then let's see here. We've got a bunch of the patrons. The patrons are kind of weird, very overly costed, and the patron of the moon in particular is he's got a really weird ability. He's like 5 and 2 blue for a 5/4 flyer. He's got this merfolk offering thing, which is weird. We'll do that as a keyword at some point, but flying, and then pay 1, put up to 2 land cards from your hand into play tapped in blue.
Okay.
So that's really crazy ramp. But he's also at 7. So by the time that you get around to being able to cast him, like, how much do you really need that ability?
Did you put the innkeeper from friggin' is it Baldur's Gate or Forgotten Realms?
So I think I skipped on the innkeeper. I did. Again, I needed spots for spirits, but there was a human rogue that did end up making it, and that was the tavern swindler.
Okay, I forgive you for that then. Because
which
is kind of good flavor.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was all flavor. You can tap it and pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life. It's not relevant at all, but it's a tavern swindler.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I figured that would be a good one for a random entry from the bar. A Studier command, again, that one I'm pronouncing wrong, but it's definitely
Studier command, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely
really good,
really nice, very modal. Farseek, cultivate, a lot of stuff to grab yourself some lands, get that going. The deck's got a function. Supreme Verdict. When the cops bust in or the lights come on. You ever been out drinking? You make it all the way to the end of the night, and then like a dick, the people at the bar, not like a dick, they've been trying to yell at you for 20 minutes that they're closing and you haven't paid any attention to them. But then they flip on the light and the lumens from the heavens above
God, I know
sear
exactly
the
that,
interior
dude.
of your retina, and you immediately like sober up 2 levels and just like, oh
Yeah, because it's like completely dark, and you're like, "This is a dark and sexy bar," and they're like, "Fuck off."
that's Supreme Verdict.
we
right
don't.
there.
We don't care where you go. Just don't be here.
We've got the Beast Within, because some people can't handle their stuff.
That is true. They get a little drunk and they start punching shit. Fun
Okay.
fact: did you know my grandfather owned a bar in Portland, and that was Mom's first job?
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Ran a bar.
Just a barkeep.
Chappies. Called Chappies.
Chapman.
What?
Is that his name? Chappie?
No. It was just Chappies.
Oh, okay.
His name is Bob.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was like a play off of his name or something.
No, his name was Bob.
But we've got Fact or
George.
Fiction, right?
Yep, Fact or Fiction's really good.
We've got Generous Gift, again, gifting a drink.
Which was also in that pack of magic cards Tom got me for my birthday.
right.
The fact that it's an elephant's really funny. Because, like, gifting an elephant is really bad. Because, like, here's an elephant. And you're like, I can't fucking do anything with this. Like, I have to feed it, and I can't kill it because it's illegal, and I can't give it away because who's going to be like, yeah, let me just, like, cart this elephant in my house.
Somehow I feel like that was how they got into, like, the writing of the We Bought a Zoo movie.
It's the fact that they
what
couldn't
if,
give it
you know,
away.
that cliche, gifting somebody an elephant? What if we made a whole movie based around that? Well, you can't make a whole movie just based around the one thing. You got to make it. How about a zoo? What if they bought a whole zoo? I think that deserves a drink, Sean.
Yeah, I was going to. Like,
we also have, again, included anything that we could with bottles. So we have the very unpowerful but flavorful bottle of Suleiman. And you pay 1, sacrifice bottle of Suleiman, flip a coin, target opponent calls heads or tails.
drinking game?
While the coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in the opponent's favor, it deals 5. The bottle deals 5 damage to you. Otherwise, you get to create a 5/5 artifact creature token with flying.
By any chance, did you put 1,000-year elixir in there?
1,000-year elixir is in here.
Let's go. Drinks.
Elixir of mortality is in here. Wine of blood and iron is in here.
Nice.
Elkin bottle is in here. I might have to eat that. Which one were you asking about?
1,000-year elixir.
No, I don't have it in here.
Dude, that's so
it
perfect.
doesn't do anything.
Drink. 1,000-year elixir. It's in the name. It's a drink. You fucking moron.
It doesn't do anything in the deck.
Okay, this isn't about doing things. It's
Nothing
about
in here has
flavor.
tap abilities that we can untap
Who
it from.
cares? It's a.
But we do have Elixir of Immortality, so there's an elixir. Let's see here. What kind of enchantments do we have? Guardian Project, Kindred Discovery, Mystic Remora, Phyrexian Arena. Again, just drinks. More drinks. Keep the drinks coming. You're drawing cards. Just...
Tom, this is a lighthearted little deck, and I don't like to make things that are strong. And then you just listed off some of the most powerful blue cards in existence.
Rhystic Study. Reconnaissance Mission. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card.
Why is Rhystic Study in there?
Why is Rhystic Study in there? Whenever a player plays a card, you may draw a card unless that player pays one.
I know what Rhystic Study does, Jackhole.
Yeah.
Like, why is it there flavor-wise? Like,
Oh, because, again, keep the drinks coming. You're drawing cards. Draw cards all
Drawing
night.
the cards are drinks.
Yeah, because they're spirits.
Why did I... Whatever.
Have you never, like, watched a Commander's Quarters video? They, like...
No.
You, like, pick... So that you don't just have a deck that does what that's the process that I go through when I make decks now is I've got the guy from Commander's Quarters like narrating it in my head. And yeah, these are the keep the drinks coming section in the enchantments, and they're all about drawing cards or getting extra spirits.
I just got a huge whiff of that food.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's gonna be good.
That was so weird.
Oh, you know what's really amazing? Those rolled tacos that she made. Again, that's why I like letting her just kind of like come up with stuff because like
I don't know where any of that was because I looked in the freezer and there wasn't like anything there.
are they not silver wrapped, foil wrapped? They should be in packs of 2. They're like long rolled chicken tacos. Oh my god, they're so amazing.
I'll have those tonight.
But anyways, that was the long and short of the deck. Again, we've got a nice broad 5-color mana base.
Broad.
Which is delicious.
Literally as broad as you can get.
Yeah. There's a lot of different. The casting costs in here are pretty wild.
What basic lands did you go with?
Oh, the basic lands? I mean, I think I've got one of each. Or 2 of each, sorry.
Here's the thing, ready?
Right.
Do you know what artwork you should have gone with?
Huh.
They made Secret Lair did an entire the
that
concerts.
one.
Not the concerts, but the stages, like the instruments,
Mhm.
because live music.
So I'm not opposed to that one, and I did that one did hit my blip for this, although I don't normally customize the specific land printings in here because finding specific land printings is ridiculous in this app. But I do think that I want to do that. There's going to be a Bard deck at some point.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
But I don't feel like
Are you gonna
again
do Volo for the Bard?
Volo sounds like a good one. There was another red-black Bard that I really liked. As long as I can get the DJ from Strixhaven in there, I'm definitely all about that. Like the first time that I saw a Magic card with art that had somebody with like a turntable, like
Yep.
and it had relevant abilities that weren't on an unset, I was like, you know what? I don't hate the direction that Magic the Gathering is going these days. Like it's weird. I never could have called this, but that's neat.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's a turntable on a Magic card, on a real Magic card.
In that case, you could have put. I feel like Door to Nothingness should go in there too, because
You think so? That was the supreme verdict, though. That was much more thematic than just like. See, Door to Nothingness. I kept
is
coming
the
around.
bathroom, dude. Have you been in a bar bathroom?
No, that's Blackout. Okay. No, that's Pestilence. No, the Door to Nothingness, it just really equated to me as like Blackout, and I suppose I've had enough personal experiences with blacking out that I was like, it's nice to just get cleared out of the bar at the end of the night and remember that.
I never have.
Oh boy, yeah, no, it's funny the first couple times that people tell you about you like getting naked and running around, and we couldn't control you at all, and it's like, haha, that's really funny, and then the moment that it's no longer funny for them, it's like, yep, you got naked and ran around the yard for 30 minutes again last night. It's like, I'm
I was
glad
trying
that
to have fun here.
I'm glad that I didn't remember it, but at the same time, like it's now just like
Yeah.
I'm getting to a point in my age where it's not a acceptable thing
Yep.
to do. Like,
But that is a cool deck, and I like that, and that's right up on our Moxfield. Moxfield and Manapool are partnered together, so you're able to go in there, and when you look up deck lists now, and you look at costs and everything like that, you can select Manapool as your base cost model. And what did you look up, like, cost of the deck between non-separate things?
yeah, let's see what's we because I don't think this was too much. I made that moat deck, and well, let me tell you what, a reserve list moat for $600
No
is a steep
shit,
fucking card.
Dude. Reserve list card.
Okay, so it's spiky, but it's not too bad. Let's who's Card Trader? That's Euro. So let's do something different. Card Trader has it for 450 euros. I don't know what the translation on that is. But Manapool has it as a buy it now for $469. So I guarantee you most of that's going to be the mana base because
Alexa?
I just went crazy on that.
What is the conversion rate from 400 euros to American dollar?
400 euros is about 464 US dollars and 84 cents.
It is
Okay, so
still
Card
less
Tracker's on point.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Way to go, Card Tracker. It's nice to
it's
see
about
that.
time a competitor could keep up with something.
Yeah. Too bad that there's a giant ocean in between us. So,
Do you want to wait 9 years for your cards?
actually, you got that card from Japan pretty quick.
Yeah, but it was also because he like drop shipped. It's like
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, just ordering anything from Japan, I would think would take like months, and nowadays you can really get it in like 2 weeks if you're willing
yeah,
to
you can
fork
get it really
over.
quick if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Remember that one movie, Not Lost, Castaway? Yeah, with the FedEx guy who got stuck with all the packages. They don't do that anymore. Now they actually make it to where they're going.
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks, and he had a volleyball named Wilson.
As somebody who makes things, I think it's so amazing that you can make something like that and get people, just like random people, to cry about a volleyball.
A
floating
volleyball,
away.
yeah.
Like more than once I've cried. I've seen the movie, and I still cry when it happens.
Yeah, it's like fucking. Sorry, this is an olive Passover.
That's not a Jewish holiday for any of you who are wondering.
Ohio.
Well, hi,
Excuse us why we chew olive for a second.
welcome back to our ASMR channel. But anyways, so I think that this is a really good way to segue into the next piece that I had, which was the talking about the Magic the Gathering drinking game, or rather Commander variant drinking game. I really liked this one in particular because it came with additional custom cards.
That's awesome. I'm going to pause you for a second because I need Tums.
Yeah. I don't know if he left that recording or if he's saving the data, but either way, it's nice to get this additional time with you. I hope that you're enjoying yourself today. I hope that you're planning on building a new commander deck. That's typically what I'm doing. I try to build a commander deck at least once a week. Oh, there he is. He's back. All right, well. Yeah, I got to keep the juice flowing. See, I think that some people, ironically ask me, do you just talk to listen to yourself talk? And I'm like, yeah, haha. And they're like, ah, ha, ha. And then I continue talking to myself. And they're like, oh, it's not a bit. I'm like, no, I'm having a conversation. And you keep interrupting me.
So your drinking game.
Oh, yes, my drinking game. He did leave it recording, so that's great. The drinking game that I found on Imager, I don't know if anybody else ever uses that.
I think it's Imager.
Imaga, thank you.
Oh
So,
God,
we've got
that was
some-
way too close.
We, like I said, you're the editor. You can clip that how you need to. Welcome back to the Hard Part Podcast, where I'm going to be going over these cool cards for this custom game. So essentially, I'm falling less in love with Imgur because of the prevalent ads.
The 8 billion ads in it.
I don't mind ads. I understand that you have to make a bill. But Draft Sim and Imgur, if you could just like engage your stuff every once in a while to see what kind of weird thing we have to like navigate in order to like read an article, it's frustrating sometimes. Take a page from the old porn people. Like, just go ahead and just run. It's a banner on the side. Maybe throw some titties in it so somebody's likely to click onto it. It's not hard to do. I mean, it is an exact science at this point. They have it down pat.
There's so much I'm going to have to cut.
You're the one that wanted to do a drinking episode. I was going to do it on commander damage. You're like, oh, drinking will be a good idea. Anyhow, Command Drink core rules. Your playgroup may modify these rules as you see fit. Just try to stick to the spirits of the format. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player drinks 1. Untap, upkeep, drink. Thank you, phone. Whenever a player casts their commander from the command zone, they drink X, where X is the amount of times they've cast it from their command zone.
Oh, so Tiny Bone.
Tiny Bones is going to get drunk.
Fuck, dude.
Which is really funny. Like, Tiny Bones just like getting drunk and stealing shit from people. Whenever a player casts Soul Ring, they must drink 1. If Soul Ring was cast on that player's first turn, each other player drinks 1 instead. So if you can cast Soul Ring on your first turn, you get to give out 3 drinks.
That's crazy.
Not take 1. Any player loses the game if that player must finish their drink. Oh, that's wow. If at any point a player finishes their drink during an ongoing game, they must immediately get another drink. Okay, so that makes sense. Whenever a player loses, they must finish their drink. Got that. I thought it was like by the time you got done with a drink, you were dead.
Jesus Christ.
House rules. If playing with an additional rules deck, the player hosting the command drink gets to select an additional rule from the deck. And they are there's some very flavorful, well done. They use existing magic art, like this is the Innkeeper that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's called Bar Counter, and it's a rules artifact card. Whenever a spell gets countered, that spell's controller must drink 1. Brain Damage. Whenever a player discards 1 or more cards, they must drink 1. Combo Chugger. If a player were to go infinite, they must first chug their drink. If they fail to do so, counter all spells and abilities on the stack, and that player cannot go infinite with the same card combination for the rest of the game. So if you're gonna go infinite, you better be ready to chug that fucking drink.
That's insane.
That one's really fun. Not only that, but that really kind of puts the pressure on. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go infinite. All right, well, you have to chug your drink. Jesus. Now you've got less than 8 minutes while that alcohol gets into your system to try and figure out what you're actually talking about.
I gotta pause again. I gotta get fucking water, dude.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just gonna go on to a couple of cards while Sean's running off here. We've got court fees. If any player gets into a rules dispute, the losing players drink 2. Double vision. On any player's second consecutive extra turns, that player must drink twice for each command drink trigger. This also applies to the third consecutive turn and 3 drinks and so on. So that one gets out of control pretty quick. But yeah, there's a bunch here. There's a full deck. I highly recommend anyone that's interested, go ahead and check this out. It looks like a lot of fun. And I think that if a drinking game is in your future at all, and you want to build that pub crawl deck and then run this additional deck to do some command drink games afterwards, that would probably be they would go hand in hand together. Get your spirits and your drinks together. I'm sorry, this is really awkward without at least a second person here. I have wondered often when I see people who do like individual streams and so forth, if they develop some type of additional layer of psyche where they can like, I don't know, like not so much connect with a third party, but like they end up having a discussion that is not influenced at all by any type of exterior stimuli. So Whatnot is where I get a lot of that, which is why I think that a lot of people do whatnots in pairs and so forth. Well, said he was getting a drink, and I guess he's taking a shit now or something. Here we are. Welcome back to Tom sitting alone in a room. Oh, it's fresh. Good. Part of me is really wanting to just like make random sound effects. Not for the podcast, but because I know that Sean will be editing this at some point, and so he'll just like go back through and there's a bunch of like oh, tell me about it. I did not realize that again, that's one of those getting old things that like I think I was in my mid-20s the first time that I had actual heartburn, because I always used to hear like, oh, you have heartburn, and I would think it was like basically indigestion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I've had heartburn before. It's like in your throat and whatnot, and they're like, no, it feels like a heart attack. And yeah, I had it, and I'm like laying on the ground, and I'm like 25. There's no way that I'm having a fucking heart attack right now. And then it went away, and then I was like, that's scary as fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. Like, I've eaten some bad guacamole or had some weird indigestion or whatnot. Maybe a lot of blowout on the back end, but, like, I never felt like my fucking chest was going to cave in before.
Yeah, the,
Health.
Yep, and that kind of also leads to, like, getting older and stuff, as you were saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can,
because, like, getting older, right?
Yeah.
There is a big group of Magic the Gathering creators who are older, right?
Looking at you, Prof.
And
it's all right.
Magic is a game that is increasingly getting kind of harder to understand, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of times that I will try to read things, and I'm 31, right? And it's still really difficult for me to understand some of these cards.
So, oddly enough, the professor was actually just talking about this the other day. There is a combo in one of the pre-con decks that basically, when it goes off, like there's this, as a seasoned Magic the Gathering player, I looked at it and I was like, honestly, I don't know how that would need a judge. And these are supposed to be, introductory products for new players potentially. Yep. And it's good to have, like a high power level. I think that should be available. I think that for under $100, you should be able to buy at least a competitive deck, like something that you can take to a tournament and be able to do good. I don't think that's too difficult. There are pauper decks out there, decks made entirely with commons on Commander
and
that just destroy. Okay,
yeah. Pauper's a really cool format.
It really is. I think that if I get heavily into anything beyond just Commander, casual Commander, it would probably be Pauper.
Yep,
I would build a Pauper deck and I would run with that. That being said, I do think that there should be like a definite like $20 limit on
because there
Pauper decks.
There are ban lists in Pauper. Like I think Stock Up is on that list now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How is that? I've got to read that card again because like it's got to have some type of brainstorm level goodness that I'm just not seeing.
I think in Standard it's because of the fact that it's just too much card value in Standard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like really quick card value. Like
that's
really,
one
really
that's
fast.
like really expensive, and the moment that it rotates out, everyone's like, "Well,
that was good.
Welcome to the Commander card pool, where you're now worth garbage unless you can find a particular commander that you're good with."
It's like $8 right now on fucking Manapool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a very expensive card for an uncommon.
But yeah, as far as the complexity goes, again, some of us older players, we've been with it for a while, so we know, what's going on. But, a lot of these younger players and so forth, this is maybe not the best material. Like
No.
I
don't.
I don't know that we need the full breakdown to like the starter and intermediate and beginner and expert level stuff, but I do think that Wizards should go back to some type of thing where they have products that are made for intro players, and I wasn't
Spider-Man's
really.
doing it.
They were, but you brought up a really good point with the 5 white pips in that is a very. That's not a precedent in Magic the
No,
Gathering.
it's a very rare, random thing.
Yeah, so like when you're bringing new players in and you're like, oh, this is something that you can see, but it's not. This is very
the
few
only
and far
one.
between.
This
Like,
is the only 5 white pipped card.
and I just don't feel like that is the space for new players.
Yeah.
I think that it was great that they ran with the Spider-Man thing, and it's great to have some power in the.
Because with great power comes great responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Look at that.
No, that's too long for a card, isn't it? It's just going to be
Yeah.
with great power,
With great power.
I bet.
And they could have done it that weird double card thing with great power comes great responsibility. So
Except you're not getting comes great responsibility on that little.
with great power could be adding additional counters.
Mhm.
Right? Great responsibility would be discarding cards.
You think so? Oh, that's nasty.
Or
Great responsibility.
drawing cards.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that with great responsibility is a hard one to. What is the responsibility? How can you
White.
put? It's
White
definitely
protection.
white. That was my thing. Is protection. Like, are you? Maybe that creature until the end of the turn, that creature gains whenever damage is dealt to a creature. It's dealt to this creature instead.
Yeah, because
That's a common
it would be
white.
red-white.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, put a bunch of counters on something and then have it just take a bunch of damage from stuff.
We just made a better card for Spider-Man than Spider-Man was
I
able
didn't.
to
We
make
haven't
up.
seen it, right?
I think the whole set's out.
Is it all out already? Well,
I could check the fucking.
I've
Mythic
got.
Spoiler.
What is it? The other one. Comertage. Not that.
I think you're just saying random shit now.
I do. That's how I get where I'm going. Like, some people think that it's wild that I get off topic so much, and I feel like some people, if they could see the path that I took to get back on topic, they would be like, "How do we even ever get back here in the first place?"
Got it.
The other set that we're doing, Avatar, Comertage. That is kind of a funny one. They because it's an American anime, right? That's a Nickelodeon
Yep.
through and through.
Nickelodeon through and through.
Was there an anime beforehand, or did
Nope.
they make an anime post?
Nope. They never even made an anime.
Really? That's
No.
interesting.
It's just Avatar was just Avatar.
Hmm.
And it just was one of those things where oh, we're just gonna release this thing that we think's good, and
It was great.
it was
Amazing.
one of the best pieces of animated cinema ever.
How awesome is that? Just out of
kid's-
the fucking blue.
Because if you watch the whole progression of the show, it goes from being a kids show to here's adult topics.
Oh, yeah.
Because they realized the people who were watching it more
Mm-hmm.
were the adults.
And it growed and matured naturally. It felt like
It growed.
it growed.
It growed.
Did it not grow?
Grew.
It also grew. Both work. Then you can be all growed up.
There's the gold. That is it right there. That's so good. But old people of magic. Let's go. It's segue back here.
When we're all growed up.
I know. Yeah, even being 31, and I've been playing Magic for 16, 17 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the differences, there are times with cards come out that Tom and I have to just stare at it and go, "What the fuck does this say?"
That and really look at the point that we're in. I remember the first time that I saw a Transformer card, and I was like, okay, I did see I didn't see anything official about it, but I knew that Hasbro owned the IP, and I had already seen that they were doing MLP stuff. So I
Yep.
was like, okay, well, this is just a natural,
Transformers fighting
derivation.
Pinkie Pie.
But yeah, nowadays, the wild stuff that we see and so forth, the super crazy things, and again, we have the internet, so Jonah Jameson, that was the big conversation is, oh, this is AI, that's definitely AI generated, and da da da.
Dude,
da.
everybody was pissed about
And it's
it.
No, that's a promo card that they're giving away for Atlanta.
Yeah, I bet you, because they're like, oh, look at his hands are wrong. First of all, no, they weren't. If you because they're looking at it from the front of him, if you face the same direction as him, it was right. Second of all, AI doesn't understand shadows
I can't understand if that's
and
meme
reflections.
level of like AI. Oh, look at the hands. Like even if there was a picture with no hands.
I looked
and
at
they
the
were
hands when
like,
they said that because I was like, oh, maybe there's 6 fingers. If that's the case, then probably.
But that's always the thing that they go to is like, look at the hands. And again, if you look at it, it's
Look
like,
at the bones.
did you look at the hands? Because we looked at the hands, and the hands look really. Those are good hands.
We literally
Like-
even like I looked at Tom and I did the exact same fists he was making. I was like, those are right.
Yeah.
It's because one's like this and one's like this.
And then we
'Cause
got
he's
into the
doing this.
reflections.
Yeah,
and
the fact that there is a reflection in the reflection.
that's something that artists have a hard time doing.
Yeah,
Like,
because reflections are not. Because the thing is, it's I'll put the card up here again. I know I put it in last episode, but on the right hand side of the card, it has the buildings in the back and Spider-Man flying. When his fist is up, it's creating a shadow over the glass. Through that shadow, you can see the reflection of Spider-Man in the background
and buildings.
and buildings. So you have a shadow layer, a see-through layer, and a reflection. And AI can't even get a shadow right. So, like,
They do struggle with the shadows sometimes.
yeah. I looked at it and was like, this isn't AI. And people will just go too fucking crazy about it sometimes. And it's like,
it's hot button. You know, that's set people off. Start talking about AI.
immediately,
AI.
they're like, you know what? They're like, I don't like this design. It's AI. It's like, fucking chill out, dude.
I've as you know, I incorporate a lot of AI in all my stuff.
We
I feel
do,
like
and
if
we do the
there's-
same thing. Like, I mean, there's times where we make cards, like funny cards for the podcast using AI and stuff.
Yeah, and
Like-
not all of them are. Like we made one where like I spent like 20 minutes trying to get AI to make me kind of like a chill like version of Carnage,
Mm-hmm.
and you know kind of make him like a you know rave dancer
Yeah.
chill guy. And then I find one of Venom that I just had to like put a filter on so he's purple instead.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Sometimes AI is good, but sometimes you just got to go out and the 5 white pips. You thought that was AI when I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that was just like a beautiful like collection of naked gnomes. Which are all available on Etsy, by the way. If anyone's looking to pick up some of those 5 white pips, you're going to have to source
God
them.
damn
But
it, I still can't believe that happened. Yeah, the professor talked about, like we talk about, it's just the game is getting less accessible for older folk.
well, it's not even so much like older folk. It's just like the complexity level of like the starter products are just like
Starter products used to
ridiculous.
Starter products used to be in the core sets, and it used to just be like, oh, it's going to be flying, and we're going to give you the oracle text on the card for flying, and vigilance, and we're going to give you the oracle text for vigilance. And you get one card in the entire set now that has the oracle text or something, and everything else doesn't use it.
I feel like the
Nova Hellkite from the new set has the oracle text for warp. I think there's only like 2 other cards in the whole thing that have the oracle text for warp, and everything else just says warp.
I feel like the angle that they took of approach that they took for Foundations was what they should do a study on that and
Yes.
just like replicate that for starting stuff. There was a great power level. Everything was fairly understandable by new players.
All oracle text was there with any of the keywords.
Nothing was too overly complex, but at the same time, it did show new players that there's more to Magic than just having 2/2 bears and attacking into a 3/3 gorilla.
I mean, my girlfriend would have been confused as hell when we first started teaching her to play Magic with Dog Meat.
Oh, yeah,
If-
Dog Meat's,
Dog Meat has a ton of, like, it's a very difficult deck to kind of just, like, run right out of the pot, but it had Oracle text on literally everything.
See, I feel like it's really easy to run out the gate. It's really difficult to play Dog Meat well
Because
there's so many options.
Yeah, like Dog Meat even has the Oracle text for like scrap tokens written on it.
Yeah.
And the deck comes with scrap tokens that say the Oracle text, but they still
Right.
put it on there. Like they put Oracle text on every card in those commander decks, which is what you should do.
Yeah.
Like if especially with commander products, like those are beginner decks. Precons are for beginners who maybe don't have cards or anything like that. So the power levels shouldn't be absolutely crazy, and they also should have reminder text for how this thing works. But we're losing that, and it's slowly going. And like even with Avatar, like don't get me wrong, I love the fact that Avatar has these full art cards that don't have any text on them or the textless. They look really good.
Mm.
But I saw a TikTok the other day where this guy was talking about it. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to play my Omnath Locust of Rage that is full art with no text on it. I'm like, well, what does that do? And he's like, just look it up. Oh, I'm also going to play Toph full art that does this. And, like...
So, to be fair, if you show up to a place with full art cards, you need to be prepared to pull up the
Oracle.
rules text.
Same thing with the tournaments. Like, we looked up the official rules finally.
On altars and
Yep,
so forth.
on altars and everything
Mhm.
like that. And
Check out the magic fact for today.
yes, it's really important because altars are allowed as long as it doesn't change the name of the card or cover the text too much and is still recognizable as the card.
Also, you need to make sure, some further digging that I did, it is ultimately the judge's call.
It is. So
Whoever's
the judge could just
running
be a
the-
dick and be like, no, I don't want altars in my tournament.
They could. So first off, you should always bring a spare of the card, of the
Yep.
legal card. I know that gets expensive sometimes. Maybe even a proxy would work, although you're edging in the same waters at that point. Like, it's really up to the judge.
The judge.
And they're probably less down with
'Cause
proxies than they are an
official
altar.
judge proxies, by the way, are lands with Sharpie on them.
Yep. So really, if you had to, I'm sure that they could work something out. But you want to speak early and often
Yep.
and be upfront. The last thing that you want to do is get called out on a card halfway through a game and then have that draw out the...
Like, I'm
you know.
bringing the Japanese Ragos to use.
Right.
However, I am bringing the normal one as well. So if people have questions, like with Kira's.
Just one?
I think I'm going to bring all 70 just because it'd be really funny. Like,
Yeah.
that would be such a funny political mood. They'd be like, oh, what does that do? I'm like, here, choose one.
We do have to stock up on some more.
We do.
Because he's...
Sand
he's
is so
adding
far
it.
ahead.
Dude, he's adding more now. He's taking actual, like, and I may have contributed to that. He said for every, 10 subscribers, he'd buy another one.
Yep.
And I definitely hit that little subscribe
He got,
button on my personal
7,000
account.
subscribers. I was like,
Yeah. Hey, that's great, though.
like,
More
have
power for
fun.
the movement.
Have
If
fun.
you haven't yet, I definitely recommend trying to get in on making your own lobster collection. I know Sean's probably not a huge fan of people taking his lobsters away,
Don't
but
take my lobsters.
I think that it's great to have an army of lobster collectors out there. Not only that, but in 15, 20 years, how fun would that be if people are like, oh, have you ever seen a Ragos
And then
card?
you just pull out
Actually, guess what? There's this whole phenomenon where you can go,
phenomena.
you can go around and find the largest, see if you could find the largest collection of Ragos out there.
Yeah, you know, it's fun. Yeah, what they'll do is we're going to have an underground ring of Ragosts.
Mm.
And in that underground, we're also going to do things like, you know, maybe overbuy some cards so you can't have it and things like that. I was trying to make a segue, dude.
I thought you were trying to make a sexual advance there. It's like,
No,
and in that dark place, we're gonna do things
like scalp cards.
like scalping cards. You're talking about you're trying to segue into the underground.
Yes, because it's the last
Gotcha.
thing on the thing, and
Gotcha.
I looked at it and was like,
it's
"Oh,
not the last thing. You already missed the first thing. The second thing.
oh, the cards, the extra."
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice one to end on.
We'll do the yeah.
But anyhow,
This episode's a fucking mess.
It
We're
is
so
a mess.
Sorry.
It is. Well, again, this was your idea.
Yeah,
Like,
it was. I mean,
that, and then on top of that, Sean's like, "I'm gonna take a drink every time that Tom gets off topic."
and
and
notice
here
how
we
I
are.
haven't had a drink in a bit because my acid reflux, because I'm an old man, decided to kick the fuck up. It's
Here
been
comes
fine.
the old man. I was worried the
Dude.
old man thing wasn't gonna come up, and now we can just
Dude, it's been fine.
I'm
and
an
then
old wizard.
It's so bad.
Looking at you, magic historian.
But there is a big issue in Magic right now in the secondary market.
So, yes and no. I feel like we're growing. Magic as a whole is growing, and as Magic as a whole grows, it's going to bring in a lot of scrupulous and opportunistic characters. Okay, so there are already altars, proxies, yada yada. I think that we can try and stay away from counterfeiters because I feel like that is definitely that's not good. Okay.
No.
I'm talking about fun shenanigans of playing more Magic with people in
Counterfeiters are the pedophiles of the Magic
yeah
world.
yeah exploring the card design space of like what is happening in like if you wanted to make your own commander based on you, is there like a power level or some type of scale that we can use to make that? It's not just like, oh, this is the card of me. I get to make 500 mirror tokens by paying 0, or something like that. Like it just completely broken ability.
Yeah, people would be like, that's broken. You'd be like, no, it's not. It's completely fair because
Dies to
it dies to
removal.
removal.
Yeah. You can board wipe that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we should come up with some rules to making custom cards. And I think that if we start with that and then work our way down, maybe we could eventually come up with an actual CEDH league, okay?
Yep.
That is both competitive and casual, where we don't really focus so much on the win as we do how it's won, or maybe like different little like achievements or quests. Like
Yeah.
we
Like
were
what
talking about
talking about
Selesnya having the biggest power and toughness on a creature, or just different things like that. Maybe you have to steal a card from each player, own a card from each player in the pod, and then you win the game or something like
get
that.
every person to discard at least 10 cards.
Yeah, just some weird little, stuff like that you can actually just like go in, not win the game, but still take home a prize. Still get yourself a trophy or whatnot. And I feel like today's culture is very, very integrated in the achievement slash title. We can throw some titles with achievements
Instant gratification.
or whatnot. Yeah, it's just right there. Not only that, but again, with the power and toughness, that's one that like you might have to give that trophy away.
Yep.
Yeah, you had a 64-64, but Joe Schmo over there, he
had
cast
a 65-64.
Yeah, so now you got to pass on the title to Joe Schmo.
Yep. Fucking Joe.
Joe, way to go, Joe.
I'm gonna go, Joe.
But anyways, I think that there's a real call for it. I think that there's a real potential to have kind of an underground casual Magic the Gathering league that allows proxies, custom cards, so forth. Again, there will need to be some type of rigid, rule system to like making custom cards. But I think there's a space for it. I think that for a long time, if you look into cards that are made with the 6th color, that has even gotten its own kind of like honing, and maybe that's the the logo or whatnot for this movement is the 6th color.
Yep. Things that
because
people have been wanting to do for a long time, and they just kind of backed off from.
Yeah, or it doesn't fit into like your standard color pie or whatnot. I think that there's a lot of potential there.
There's a lot of abilities they've come out with that don't really fit into a color, and then they're just like, we'll just make it colorless, I guess.
Yeah,
But it could potentially, like you said, fit into like that 6th purple color.
Mm-hmm. And
why purple? Why was purple chosen?
You've got the yellow sounds stupid and is really close to white.
Orange
is, I think orange is too powerful, honestly. I do.
Fucking mean.
I mean, like, I feel like a card with like an orange pip on it is like steal your opponent's deck for good. Like outside of the game, they will have to fight you for it back.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And they use their fists, and you get a gun.
Yeah. Like you cast this card, and then like opponent loses the game unless they're willing to fight you with fists.
So it's an unset.
I mean, is orange not an uncolor? So technically, the unsets had gold.
Yeah, that's fair.
They had gold and they had pink. But if there was going to be an unset color, it would have been they have pink rabbits.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's in Infinity. You get pink bunnies.
Why the fuck do I not remember that?
I don't know,
played
'cause that's-
so much Infinity.
That's in like you have a card that does that.
That's so
like you get to make a 5/5 bunny token, 5/5 pink bunny token, and then there's the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, which makes
That's
you
funny.
a 2020
That's
gold
really
dragon
funny.
creature,
which is not off par.
No.
That's the hilarity.
It's kind
too.
of funny because the more you look at it, the more it's like, oh, the 5 colors are the Power Rangers. But every once in a while, they'll do some type of writing thing where they're like, oh, there's also the Gold Ranger and the White Ranger and 2 Black Rangers.
And a partridge in a pear tree. So, if you're like us and you have a lot of bulk cards, and if you're also like me and you come from a family that has a lot of bulk cards that some of them are completely fucking ruined, what do you do with them? Do you A, leave them in a closet to rot forever? B,
do you throw them in the trash?
Do you throw them in the trash?
Oh, that seems...
Do you put them in a binder to use as a placeholder until you get a better looking version of that card? Or do you make them into stuff?
Make them into stuff. Oh my gosh. So I went down a rabbit hole with that one.
You would.
I started to compile a bunch of pictures, and maybe we'll throw some of them up here. But I highly recommend to anybody who's mildly interested in this to just look up MTG card and epoxy. And there are tables, there are cup holders, there's furniture, there are entire floors, multiple floors. Like, you can go through some of the floors that are on there.
Fucking way.
You can go through some of the floors that are on there and pick out what kind of design you would like to make on your floor. Okay?
Okay.
I remember as a kid there was I
Holy
say,
motherfucker, you were... What is this shit? There's so many.
Did you look up epoxy or floor?
Epoxy.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on there. And
Look at the
it's just
floor.
so amazing. Yeah, I love the scattered one. I don't mind the ones where there's patterns, but the scattered one kind of it irritated me, and then immediately I was like, that'd be
That's
so
like a
funny.
$5,000 table because of the wood.
Yup. Oh yeah, the cut down the middle of that with the cards in it. Mm. But imagine that first one if somebody had... I think that's the one that's in the...
That's atrocious.
Oh, yeah. No, it's beautiful. And
Do we do that in the card store?
I mean, it sounds kind of like we have to. Well, we have to see where the card store
Or at least
goes.
in the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom's the best one. That one's really solid.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Mhm.
Or like a wall.
Also, I do have experience in doing epoxy flooring, so...
This is wild.
Because I'm old.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, like I said, you can just go to town, like pick out what kind of pattern you want to do. And
You know what you do is you just like put the entire floor with like really cheap cards and stuff, like,
Mhm.
and then you just put like a random like actual Black Lotus just in the
Oh. No, see, that's definitely where you get your, like, really as close as you can get proxy. Nobody's going to look at the back of it. And it's a Black Lotus on the floor. Of course,
Somebody
it's
just
cool.
walks in and just like chisels it out because they think it's a real Black Lotus.
I like the there's one that's been floating around my Temu for a little bit that is a 10.0 graded Black Lotus that's foil and signed.
Oh yeah, those are all real,
And well, again,
especially the foil.
you don't have to know really very much about Magic to know that is 100%
There's never been
fake.
a foil Black Lotus,
Which is
ever.
a unique, like when they did 30th edition, that was kind of one of the big things that I had against it is they very easily could have made
foiled it.
Yeah, they could have been real foil cards, and I believe that the foiling process is outside of the limits of the reserve list because the reserve list stops them from being able to prevent anything on it in its current form.
Because artists made different artworks of the Black Lotus.
They could recommission different art for it, and as long as it has a foil treatment, it's not one of the original treatments. It's not the same as having like an alpha. It's not going to depreciate the original cards at all.
Literally not at all.
It would have actually made 30th edition cards worth something, though.
Even though they're still worth money, which
well,
makes no sense to me.
I know that they're worth something, and I think if I got a hold of some, I would end up selling them, again, at the lowest price I could to get rid of them, because I think that they're intrinsically worthless. But at the same time, I don't individually derive things worth, unfortunately. The rest of the world has something to do with that.
Yeah. But yeah, you can take your extra cards and just epoxy them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we were thinking about like making cup holders or something out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, we
cool
had
shit.
Hunter was pushing around that cup holder thing, and I like it. I really like the idea. I more wanted to do something where we found like something that we could just like iron them together into like.
There's you could also do People make buttons out of card packs now.
Buttons,
Like
for your clothes and stuff.
no, like the clip-on buttons, like vote for Pedro buttons.
Oh, that's a great idea. There's such great art
yeah,
on
you
those,
just buy one
and
of
it
those.
would just
you
like
just buy one of those clippers, and
We
then
should
you
do
just
that.
Clunk, done.
that's. I don't know why we wouldn't do
Because
that.
like 9,000 people on listings, which I looked up after. There's over 9,000 people on Etsy doing it.
Yeah, so we just give them away. Just go down. Hey, you want a button? You want a button? Here's a Zendikar button. There you go.
That's true.
Thanks for coming out.
Hey, here's Aether Drift buttons. No,
Boom.
we don't want that. No, but they're free. I still don't want it.
We'll give you $1 for each Aether button.
We will give you money for
Aether
these.
Drift button you take.
Please take them.
Oh, that's so funny.
Finally.
Aether Drift. Love me some
Fuck it.
Aether Drift.
Aether Drift had a... Okay. Aether Drift wasn't bad. The concept was bad.
So I feel like Aether Drift was really just Wizards of the Coast being like, let's see how far we can push this.
Yeah, and
we did Cowboys.
They hit the line, and they're like, "Ooh, we're not doing racing in Nicole Bolas's fucking cat litter box
Sandbox.
again."
So rough.
Yep. So finally, for Reddit Roundup, I wanted to bring up kind of a good little point here, right? Since we're getting to the end of the show, is there any hair on it now? Yeah, there is. We're getting to the end of the show. The bartender looks at you and goes, "You know what, kid? You're cut off." You know what? What else sometimes needs to be cut off?
Getting cut off is the worst feeling. Like I've never had it actually happen
I've never
to
been
me.
cut off.
But I did have a situation where I walked in and they thought I was someone else, and they like started yelling at me like as soon as I started to order a drink because it was like the switch out for the bartender, and the manager like comes out and he's like, "Didn't I just tell you to get out of here?" I was like, "I just got here." He's like, "You're cut off. You're done." And I'm like, "I really think you have me confused with somebody else. It's like a Ruby Tuesdays or something like that." And yeah, and then the bartender who had just gotten in there is like, "I'm pretty sure that guy's gone now." She was telling me about him. This is not the guy. So I was like, I'm just gonna get a Coke. I don't need to.
But this is about from r/EDH from user MarshB54 from 2 hours ago. Cutting that last card.
Oh,
Because cutting off, right?
I'm there.
I feel like in deck building, you can spend so much time picking out each card. Imagine how it will play out and how it fits in your deck. You finally get your list tuned up how you want it. And you have 101 cards. What do you do now? Do you do the classic cut a land, or is it too late for that and you already did it at card 102? I'm in this situation now with my Layla Hassan deck. So what is your go-to move for cutting that last card?
So first off, what you need to do is you need to put your 2 lands back into your deck, okay? Because you need those, all right? And
No, you
don't hurt
I'm at
yourself.
33 lands. I thought about going down to 30.
You're also running a deck full of artifacts and mana rocks and so forth. So put your 2 lands back, all right? Because that was what I was going to stop you before you even said that, and I was like, don't cut the first land, and then finding out that we're already 2 in.
Yep.
Put your lands back. Stop. All right. Make sure they're basics. Take care of yourself. Basic health.
Ground
all right?
yourself.
Grounding. Second off, what I usually do personally is I'll take my deck and I will set aside all the lands because again, leave them the fuck alone. And then you separate your cards into 3 different piles. All right. There's the primary thing that your deck is trying to do. There's the secondary thing that your deck is trying to do. And then there are your health things. Card draw, card ramp, mana acceleration,
Things that
mana
are
rocks.
pretty needed.
Yeah. Okay, and if you have an optimized deck at this point, those 3 things should be pretty much all that's left in there, which is why it's difficult to make cuts. Now, at this point, usually what I'll do is I will go through and find out which one of those cards I can cut. I'll pick 1 or 2 from each of them before I even cut anything. That way I've got some evaluation stuff I can do. And then the third thing I'll do is I'll count how many of those things that I have. And then if there's like a lot of ramp stuff and whatnot in there,
You
then
could
it's
maybe
odd.
remove one.
Yeah, then it's definitely that route to go. If I go through and the primary thing that I'm trying to do in the deck has 1,500 support cards, maybe I don't need that much of what I'm
Yep.
trying to do.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's-
just the deck functioning will be better than having the cards that do what I want it to.
Yeah, like for Ragos, for example, when we were fine-tuning and getting down to the nitty-gritty, as much as we wanted to leave Chrome Companion in there.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of this deck as the hilarity, haha,
chucking the
let's
dog.
throw the dog or eat the dog. They're eating the dogs.
eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats. As much as we thought that was funny, and it still is, functionally, it needed to go.
Yeah. Yep.
And sometimes, if you're trying to get a deck to work, because that's also where it boils down to competitive or non-competitive, is if you are looking to go competitive with your deck, you sometimes do have to give away that idea you had, that silly little, this would be funny.
Yeah, that I really... one of the first big ones that I had to make, one of the first couple of big cuts that I had to do from Wakanda was all the references to Monarch, because although it was very flavorful, it had nothing
didn't
to
function
do
well
with
your stuff.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with +1/+1 counters, which is the whole idea behind the deck. So yeah, unfortunately, the king had to step back
Yep.
and allow the people to rule.
Yeah, and then let's see, Ishin, for example. I don't remember. We've done so many cuts to him now.
Yeah,
and so many
Ishin is
changes.
Heavily optimized.
Because we were trying to get him competitive ready, and I think it started as I just wanted Samurai Tribal, I think.
Yeah.
And Samurai themes.
And I think he's too... honestly, I think he's too good for competitive. I think when you sit down with him, it would be like sitting down with a $1,500 Wizards Analia deck.
It literally...
Don't let that player do anything.
Yep. No, if I play Ishin, I can't play the game. And then Corona is still in it. It's still early testing phases.
Oh, Corona's...
it's still
Corona
so
is
early.
a party fun deck.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it wins, it's by a fucking miracle, and it's really funny.
The point behind Corona is to accelerate winning, but not necessarily for you.
Yours, yeah. Nira is also still really early on. She's my wild mage one, where you cast low-cost artifacts, and in exchange, you get really big dragons from the deck, which is really funny.
So, did I tell you at all about what I ended up making for the it can buy me a moat, or it can find me a moat deck?
No.
So this thing can it is a 5. It is a 5. All right. We can first turn infinite play anything we want to out of our deck, set up basically so that no one can attack us, and if anybody taps anything, we gain control of it at the end of turn.
That's wild. And that's where, the cuts are... Sorry, I play with this thing because it's fun. Cuts are hard. And...
It's the hard part. Making the cut.
The hard part is making the cut.
The hard part this time is making the cut. Yeah, it's rough. No, maybe next time. Circumcised next time.
Ouch.
There's nothing worse than a late in life circumcision, man. I've known a couple guys who well, I had to get it done, because it looks weird and a lot of girls, have problems with it. And I'm like, nah. Ain't no way that, unless the doctor's like, hey, you got to take that off because it's got a growth on it and you're going to die. I just don't go cutting pieces of my body off for vanity reasons, especially if it's on my penis. One, maybe 2 people sees my penis. And outside of that, I think I can explain to everybody there what's going on, Could you imagine being 27? Could you imagine being 27 and getting a circumcision?
Right?
You have to talk to and look at the people that are doing this. The guy who does the process, or girl, has to come in afterwards and be like, well, everything went according to plan. As you can see, your penis is healing quite well, and everything should be fine. Try not to masturbate for 6 to 12 weeks, and keep it down on the boners.
Oh, yeah, and congratulations on the fact that you no longer have to spread cheese on your body all the time.
I don't know where that reference came from.
Dick cheese? Because
Ugh. Gross.
can we get back to cutting things?
That's what we were on, Sean.
So, no, it really depends. You need to first look, are you going competitive or not competitive? And that's going to be a very big, drastic change on what direction you're cutting things.
Yeah, if you're not going competitive, I'd say stick with the theme.
Just stick with the theme. Yeah, get rid of the things that maybe don't fit the theme.
Yeah.
If you're going
if you gotta
competitive,
cut a soul ring so that you can put one more themed creature in there, do it.
My first process when I go to cut things from decks is I will look at my curve first. So I will go, where is my curve heaviest, right? And if I have way too many things in one mana value, I'll look at that mana value independently at that point, and then I'll separate it from there, kind of in the same way Tom does, where it's like, okay, what's the theme of the deck? What's it trying to do? Do these things matter? And here's my maybe board stuff. And within that functionality is where I start to do cuts. So for Ragost, I looked at the whole deck as a whole and went, okay, how much mana am I actually generating, right? Do I actually need to have 40 mana? We're down to 33, and it's because I am making treasures and I'm making mana from mana rocks
have a
and things like that.
2-drop commander. The curve on your deck hits real hard at
2.
3. Oh, at 2?
2.
Yeah. So,
I can play like my entire deck on 2.
Yeah.
The only things that aren't 2 are my
Board
damage doublers, board wipes, and those things I can just naturally get out with tons of treasures or mana rocks.
You did /are bringing Academy Reactor over, right? Because that, if somebody kills that, then you just get your damage tripler, put it on the board, and then everyone dies.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I haven't made a spot for it yet, but that's where the final cuts will come. I think tonight, because I think the cards come in tonight.
Okay,
so we can
cool.
test it tonight, see how it runs, and then really decide where Academy Reactor kind of goes in.
You know, the more I read that, the fact that it just... Because that hits play, right? That doesn't go to your hand?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
It just hits play.
Some
Academy React, that's why it's like a $75 card.
Some of those enchantments cost like 9 mana. So, yeah, getting just...
Yeah, it's a lot, and the fact that I can just get it back is really important. Because the one problem this deck still kind of has is recursion.
Right.
However... that's where we need to decide for cuts. Like, do we allow the things to die, or do we try to recur it? And I think recurring it will take too much time because this deck is I need to have my combo on, like, turn 5.
Well, which is why I think it's very important to have Wish. Because if...
Wish, by the way, Wish is not great in Commander except for a single scenario, which is your shit's getting exiled.
Which does have... Farewell is a very common card. And if you... Again, there's one combo piece that you have in that. If that's gone... Yeah, you can cycle your commander through the command zone and wash him out.
I actually talked about it
But your key piece...
on Facebook. So some guy on Facebook the other day, I actually finally tuned into a conversation because I usually just look because people make me mad.
Oh, I feel that.
But he was like, "Why
look
would
at the hands? It's AI."
He's like, "Why would I want to use Wish and stuff?" And somebody brought up sideboards, and I said, and somebody's like, "Oh, it doesn't work in Commander." I said,
"It does.
It does work in Commander. It doesn't work for sideboard because you can't have sideboards.
Right.
However." It says things outside the game you own, which means you're allowed to bring back exile cards, and it's one of the very few things that allow you to do that don't do weird things like stash counters or things like that.
Again, it is just a dead draw. Like if it had cycling or something, it would be infinitely more useful. So like if you're playing against somebody who doesn't exile your shit, it is just a dead draw.
But I'm going to a tournament which will have a shit ton of exile.
And I'm sure that there's one person who's going to be like, oh, as long as I exile that card, I won't have to deal with it again. And they wait, they do it so that they can get rid of it, and they
then
don't
I
have
just
to worry
go,
about it.
Wish.
And then you wish it back, and then they're like, oh, that was the only exile effect I had.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and scoop now.
That's the thing a lot of people will do too, is they will play a single exile card.
Again, Farewell.
Yep,
That's
they will.
on deck
Farewell
lists.
in every white deck ever. Farewell. Like I don't have Farewell because it actually is detrimental to me.
Well, not only that, but
I also
again,
have
I think
4
there's
other board wipes.
that is a nice thing that I think sitting down to a table, if you were like, hey, I've got some board wipes. I'm it's a 4. I do have plenty of infinite stuff. But I do not run Farewell. I think that immediately will put you... People will be like, oh, okay, we'll keep that guy around longer than we're going to keep that guy who's playing blue-white and definitely running a Farewell.
Yeah, which I probably, I think I'll use that as a tactic. I'll sit down and be like, yeah, guys. I was like, oh, I'm like, I'll, call out colors to be like, oh, you're playing white? You probably have Farewell. I don't run Farewell because I like to play the game.
Yes.
And that
I would
will
like to
be-
not be at turn 15 and then starting over the game.
Yeah, Farewell, if you don't know what Farewell is, Farewell allows you to choose one
Or more.
or more. And it's you exile all artifacts or creatures or enchantments or... There's one more. There's one more. I don't remember what it is.
Tokens?
Maybe. But it basically, you get to choose one or more so you can move it around your battlefield.
That'd be a fun. We should start compiling things that we can like ask people out on the field. I think that's a fun on the spot one.
Hey, do
to,
you
like-
remember? Do you remember what this card does off the top of your head?
Well, not even so much that, but like what are the 5 things that you can get rid of with, or like what are the 4 different modes of cryptic command? Like,
Dude, yeah, cryptic.
you know,
Dude, that's another card that's like really difficult to understand when you're older.
yeah. That was one of my favorite ones that they ever did. That was that was textless.
Yep.
I'm like, that's
Did you know? So in an unset, they made very cryptic command. They didn't just make one of them though. They made 5 different printings of it.
that is
In the unset.
extremely cryptic.
There's 5 different printings to very cryptic command, and they did that on purpose because each one did something different. So you're like, I want to play very cryptic command, and you have to be like,
Which one?
which one? Like,
Love unsets, man, all
Yeah.
the way through.
every time they're
We
all
should
good.
definitely do an undraft at some
That'd
point.
be fun. I'd like that.
I like the box set. We should.
Yep. But yeah, make cuts where you need to. And just go with the flow of what you're doing.
And it is hard. It's very difficult. I mean, I don't know that playing just with the deck, if that's necessarily a viable option, because again, your count's going to be off and everything's thrown. But maybe for your pod, maybe you could just be like, hey, I'm just going to play this 3 or 4 games with 101 cards because I just don't know which card to pull.
Yep.
Maybe they'll be cool with it. Who knows?
Yeah, I actually really like using that as a method, is playing the deck a bunch of times and then going, what card have I never used and don't use, which means it has no value.
So this is more for like standard stuff. I don't really keep track or like pay as much attention in Commander because it's more casual, and you can sit there with all kinds of cards in your hand. And I feel like the draw luck for Commander is really weird. Like every time that you draw like 3 lands, a Soul Ring, and an Arcane Signet, you feel like you're gonna be like having to defend yourself if you play that Arcane Signet. Especially if you played a Soul Ring opening hand last game, it's like, I'm just gonna hold this for 3 turns. I don't want people to think I'm stacking
That's
my
why
deck.
I'm glad
or anything.
that it's just a single round of the Commander tournament, because if I pull it on the first hand, I'm like, guys.
Yeah, just the next game. You
Because
just
here's
gotta
the thing,
watch the
if
pods.
people cut your deck, they can't accuse you of cheating.
Yeah, that, and I mean, watch your stuff. Like, pay a little bit of attention. It's not difficult. I always have to. So I'm a big fan, like personally, of close-up Magic, and as much as I try, I'm not very good at it. But at the same time,
Is that what do you mean by close-up Magic? Like you're playing Magic like 2 feet away from a person, or like you're,
no,
like,
you're
you're I play this, and you shove
like
it in their
52
face.
card. Yeah, like the look at this card that I've got right here. It's, you can read it.
And then swap your mana as you're doing it.
Beware, I did not untap all of my lands.
Which is the most common thing people cheat in tournaments.
Untapping lands.
Is moving their lands around. And because what they'll do is they'll do a lot of fast play is a big thing in tournaments where people will do things really quickly to try to throw you off. So you have to really watch. So what they'll do is they'll tap their lands for something and then and then as soon as they cast it, you can no longer change the land around.
Mm-hmm.
But what they'll do is they'll just very quickly change things around as they're moving other things.
Mm-hmm.
So
see, and again, that's where that one card would come in. That orange card would come into play because, like, I sit down to play Magic. Yeah, on some level to like battle you intellectually, but I'm really battling myself intellectually. I'm looking to see if I make
that's
a
me
mistake.
every day when I wake up, just battling myself intellectually.
And so, like, if I lose to you, it's that's a fault on my end, or the the luck of the deck, or maybe even the composition of the deck. But at the same time, if I lose to you because you're shuffling your cards around and doing stuff really fast and whatnot. That to me, we're getting back into the arena of like that being a physical
Yeah.
thing. And again, I will play the orange card, and if I think that you're like pulling some shit, I'm not gonna like break down and fight you in a tournament. That's a good way to get disqualified.
I'll do it after though in the street.
But yeah, no, I have no problem having a conversation with somebody afterwards outside of a card store.
Yep.
On like, again, I'm not gonna feel like they beat me because they were shuffling their cards around and whatnot. But if you want to make it a test of some type of physical prowess, by all means, let's see how shifty you get when I get a hold of your ass. Like,
Yep, exactly. But that is what we got for this week. Congratulations to the Hard Part podcast for being 21.
Sounds like Tom's getting ready to start assaulting people, so now we have to
Yeah, we
break
have
the
to
show.
break the show because we Sequoia. But no, thank you guys for joining us again. Thank you to Manapool and ShippingShield for all of your generous support.
Definitely.
And we will see you guys next week for episode 22.
See you
which
next
is,
week.
2 more episodes away from a drawing.
Oh.
So
Edge of Eternity's box. Here we come.
we're edging to get there.
And not only that, but exciting news for next month's giveaway. We have got a really cool commander package that
We
is
got a
coming
cool
together.
commander package coming together.
We've got altars, we've got signed cards, we've got it's just cool as hell.
Yep.
If you've been watching the episodes as we've been going along, you'll see what it is.
Yep.
You can probably put it together, but
If not,
it's-
you're going to love it either
it's
way.
some really cool stuff. Pretty excited.
But yeah,
So.
thank you guys for joining us again.
Thanks
and
for
we will
coming
see
out.
you guys next week.